Hey everybody, this is Rob Wilson, your Art of Breath co-founder and PSE Breathe head coach. And I just want to take a little bit of time to talk to you guys about nasal breathing. And of course, more and more in the human performance and the strength and conditioning and fitness marketplace, breathing is becoming the hot thing, and the nasal breathing is especially starting to catch a wave of use. And of course, as a result, you always get pushback, right? And so the idea here is that the reason that nasal breathing for us and for others like Dr. Patrick McCune has become this sort of epicenter of focus is because so many people are metabolically inefficient and use their mouths at points when they don't have to, rendering their efforts less yielding of the kind of positive results that they can potentially get. And so the fact of the matter is that structurally your nose is made for the purpose of dealing with air primarily. That's not to say you cannot breathe with your mouth. Obviously you can, but all of the structures in our body that are designed to process air are in our nose. And we have other videos that go into great detail about this, but I think the important point here is that we're not dogmatic about nasal breathing. All right, it has its place, and it should be a primary place, especially in the development of the aerobic system and in the development of breath mechanics, and there's a lot of reasons for that. However, there is a time and a place when the nose and the mouth work together, when we use the mouth only. There's an enormous continuum of nose, mouth, 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 nose, nose, and rates for all of those, breath rates for all of those in between. And so it's important not to take a dogmatic view of nasal only breathing, because it's just simply a method. Okay, it's a method for development, and it's one that we tend to focus on a lot because so many people are missing this fundamental part of their function. It would be like if somebody came to you for strength and conditioning and they couldn't squat down into a normal healthy squat position. That would be something that you would need to address because they're missing dorsiflexion of the ankle, flexion of the knee, flexion of the hip. And if you've worked in sports for any amount of time or been a physiotherapist or a coach, those are basic fundamental ranges of motion that, while might not limit performance in the short term, will certainly yield negative effect in the long term. And so I would say that being able to breathe through your nose, not just during a formal breath practice, but also during high degrees of effort, will set you up for long-term success as you try to develop energy system control, state control, and develop athletic performance. And more research is coming out all the time about how many systems are integrated with patterns that are supported by nasal breathing. And additionally, our evidence around aerobic development that we've been developing with athletes that we're working with has been we're coming up on, basically a preponderance of evidence pointing towards, hey, using nasal breathing as the basis of aerobic development is a far more efficient way to create an efficient energy system, even in athletes that already have advanced levels of output. So again, nasal breathing isn't a philosophy that we're attached to. It's simply a method, and it allows us to establish baseline capacities of understanding so that moving forward, the nuances that are in between, nasal only or mouth only, can become more available depending on our needs and desires in the situation. So again, if you want to learn more about this, take a look at our energy system control program, take a look at our nasal development program. There's some really good research that's coming out. There's a really great book that Dr. Andrew Huberman recommended recently called Jaws, which is all about how facial structure and our jaw structure, our teeth, form around our breath mechanism and our nasal capacities. Those are amazing resources, so don't take my word for it. Check it out for yourself, and then please contribute back to the community. Anyway, I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.